So I did also want to talk about a little bit of transfer news because we've talked here about the potential of signing Alexander Isak, but again, we've said that there are a few red flags with the price, with his injury history. So I wanted to ask you, are there any alternatives that you think that Liverpool could go in for? Because I've seen some links to Eintracht Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike, who was linked to Newcastle before and is described as having stylistic similarities to Isak. So do you think maybe there's any truth in those rumours, or maybe in truth that Liverpool will sign another forward?
It'd be much more Liverpool, wouldn't it, to go and get the guy who has stylistic similarities and who's a little bit younger and is ready to make that step now. So that would make a lot more sense. I mean, I'm not quite sure whether he is definitely someone that they're tracking. I guess they'll definitely be watching him because they watch every player who is performing well in a top 5 European league. They'll be across all these types of players. But it's kind of hard, isn't it, with the Bundesliga to kind of weight the goals. They are very good at this at Liverpool, their recruitment staff. So, but from the outside, you can't necessarily say, oh, he's scoring a lot of goals, therefore Liverpool will be looking at him, because it goes much deeper than that in terms of how they look at things. But I'm pretty certain a forward will be on the shopping list this summer, because they're going to get forced into that position by Darwin Núñez leaving. There's no doubt about that. And I just have question marks over Isak in terms of just as a starting point, aside from the kind of injury record and how much it would cost. I just really do think Newcastle will be able to keep hold of him for at least one more season. I really do think that will be the case. So I don't think anybody will be buying him. I may be proven wrong on that, but that's my kind of firm belief at the moment. So I don't think Liverpool will be in and around that at all. But yeah, if they are to sign a forward, which is what we would expect, then someone like Ekitike would kind of tick a lot of boxes looking at it externally, and it would make a lot of sense. And he is just more of a Liverpool signing. They don't tend to go for those 150 million types, do they?
No, not really. But something else I did want to ask you about in relation to transfers is, do you think that there's a chance that Liverpool go for a different type of forward? Because a lot of fans have been saying that Liverpool might need to sign a striker, an out-and-out 9. But recently, Slot's been using the double 10s up front with Jones and Szoboszlai. So I'm wondering if, I know you've mentioned Cunha before, someone in that mold who maybe isn't quite an out-and-out 9, but is more of a 10 and can play up front. I know he got sent off in the FA Cup, but he wouldn't look out of place at Liverpool, would he?
Yeah, the difficult thing I think to judge here is whether Slot is using these systems and using Diaz up front because that's how he wants his team to play, or it's just a case of needs must, really. Jota, he's not been able to rely on him this season because he's been injured for quite a lot of it, then struggled to get his fitness back up and been in and out. And obviously Darwin Núñez is Darwin Núñez and therefore quite inconsistent, and he struggled to get consistent starts for that reason. So it's just hard to know if that's the definite profile he wants, because if it is, and he wants that guy who's kind of drops deep and is really a presser and is primarily there for link-up play, then you're looking at, okay, we kind of want Roberto Firmino again, if possible, and someone like Cunha would absolutely fit that bill perfectly. But it's just really hard to know exactly what he wants. And if the reason he's not maybe getting the most out of his centre forwards is because he hasn't got exactly what he wants there. So that's very hard to judge. And we're a little bit far away from the transfer window opening to kind of know for sure what that's going to look like and what Liverpool are targeting. And I am a big fan of Cunha, and I think he would have really, if that is what they want, he would really fit that bill perfectly. But I just wonder now, having seen that over the weekend, and obviously it's his second incident he's been involved in this season where he's kind of lost his cool. Liverpool do put a lot of weight on these things about character and how they deal with pressure and difficult moments. And I just wonder if he was someone they were looking at for all the upside, which is that he's brilliant. He scored goals at a really consistent level for a side who are really low down the league and generally struggling. He's got a £60 million release clause. There's a lot to like there. But I just wonder whether something like that would really kind of put Liverpool off. So that's, that may have kind of kiboshed his chances of a move. But if that is the type of player that they want, he would really fit that bill, I think.